Right, another one. I think we're live now. Are we? Right, another one. Yeah, we're live. Hello, everyone. How is it going? Let me just turn analytics on. We are good to go now. Yeah, welcome to another stream. I don't think there's anyone watching right now, but if you're watching this in the future, today is going to be a little bit busy. We've got a few things to look at. Hello, Carlos. How's it going, dude? It's good to see you. Good to see you. So we have a bunch of things to look at today. I will probably spend most of the stream reviewing a very, very good PR raised by Owl on Urchin, which, to be honest, was raised like last month, and I just didn't get time to do it until, well, today, because I've been very busy. And what we see here is that we have a very, very nice change to Urchin. So this is what Urchin looks like. So what Owl did is he introduced Tailwind to make this look very, very nice. And I'm very excited to get this merged into Urchin. Very excited to try this out locally here. And, you know, I've already tried it out locally, as you can see, just to get things building. So we'll be reviewing the code today. We'll be seeing some of the nice abstractions that Owl has made to the code, because he made some very, very good changes. As well as I have a very interesting post to look at that I kind of pre-read a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I think GTX, you're the one who sent it to us. By the way, welcome GTX. It's good to see you here. I hope you guys are having a nice weekend. And yeah, we're going to react to this. Super sick today after the game. Oh no. Did you go to a football game? What was it? Did you actually play sports, or did you just go to watch? That's, you know, I was wondering that. Because if you went to play a game, yeah, I understand. So we've got a few reactions to do, and on top of everything, I'm kind of very, very behind on Advent of Code. So I'm going to try and get day 7 done on stream here today. You know, bear with me, because this might be a difficult one. I haven't actually seen it before, to be honest. It's the first time I'm opening it, but maybe we'll get to it on Rust. It's going to be a busy stream. It's going to be a very exciting stream, so I'm looking forward to it. So looking forward to catch up on some of Urchin content. Yeah, Carlos, it's been a while. For sure, it's been a while. So I've not actually had that much motivation to work on Urchin in the past month, especially not since after I came back from my holiday. But today we are finally ending that laziness. And yeah, so let's get started. First of all, major overhaul to Urchin. You can see here there's quite a few files changed. We're going to look at some of the main changes that Owl's made. But you know, the main thing is that he introduced Tailwind, right? So we got a bunch of Tailwind stuff here, I believe. So a bunch of the changes to Temple. So if you look at the layout template, you can see a bunch of, hopefully, Tailwind classes being used everywhere. I don't really understand Tailwind very well. I know that some of you probably know this better than me, but I'm just going to trust that Owl did the right thing, and we're going to be testing some of the UI features as well by like, does anyone know a good website to try UI? Because like obviously I can resize the page locally here, and things seem to work very well. But like I understand that there are websites you can actually put your stuff through, and it will tell you whether or not it works on certain mobile devices and whatnot. The only problem is that we don't have this on a server that other like websites can access. Obviously it's all locally, but it'll be nice if we can get like a framework to try all of this out. But yeah, let's start. I realized I actually forgot to fill up my water bottle, so I might have to go and get some in a bit. I also have some Coca-Cola, which might fuel me with the caffeine. So yeah, I might also have a break to do that. So yeah, let's get started. First of all, is Al watching us? Is Al here? Al, can you say hi if you're watching us? I don't think he is, but he's made some changes on the build, and I've already changed the other mission. Hi, have fun on the stream today. Hello, how's it going, dude? So yeah, we're going to be spending a lot of time on this, dude. It's quite a few changes, but I'm excited to do. So you changed the atomo. I guess you probably just added the JS files. Okay, so we've got JS in here now. Oh, dude, I missed this one out. So you've added some JS to do what? Mobile menu hidden. Oh, you've got JS to do the light and dark theme, which I believe are the buttons, right? So that's how this stuff works. You click on it, you get light mode and dark mode. It doesn't work on my machine right now just because I have everything set to dark mode on Chrome. But maybe I can change that and see if it works fine, right? So can we actually do setting? Is it Chrome settings or something? And if we search for dark mode, theme, dark, there you go. So system default, overall appearance. Yeah, I thought I was switching everything to dark mode but maybe not. Maybe not. I want to see if the light mode works fine. That's what I'm looking for here. So it might take a while for us to get that. Pick a color. Oh, that looks terrible. Can we go back to appearance? Personalize your browser, set dark or light mode, and more. Yeah, I think it's an extension. I don't think I have a dark mode extension. It's just part of the actual Edge settings. They've baked it into the stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna trust that this works fine. You mentioned that there was a bug here. I can't test that right now, but I'm happy to just let that go anyway. But it's interesting to see that. Let's just take a look at the logic. So if local storage get item, what's local storage? Ooh. We can also open this on VS Code, right? I've got it here. So .js. We've got Tailwind application. Edge. Yeah, I'm sorry. I use Edge. I'm a power user, you see. So Edge is my browser of choice. Does anyone use anything other than like Chrome, Edge, or Firefox here? Are there any, can I get a hi from my my Opera chads over here? Does anyone use Opera? Because, that would be extremely special. Not in a derogatory way, by the way. Extremely, unusual. Put it that way. Brave user. Yeah, I'm a Brave user, for sure. So local storage, where does that come from? Because I have no idea. So client-side templates. Dude, you've done, a lot of JavaScript. And unfortunately, I'm not very good at it. So this is the HTMX stuff that you baked in. That's fine. Or it was already here, in fact, right? Strict Firefox user here. Fair enough. Browser API. Browser API. What? I don't know what that means. Browser API. Okay, yeah, fair. IE, no way. Is IE still a thing? Dude, IE was the bane of my existence back in the day. I had a website, or it was more of a blog, really. That was my first venture online. It was called Ultradecas, and it was basically just a collection of posts. Let's see if we can find it here. Actually, I'll show you guys my first website. It's a web archive. If that's working, right? Because they apparently got hacked a few weeks ago, and we're down for so long. And I'm not sure if they've got all the data back, but this was my first website. This is where I started the entire thing. And you can see here on 2012, that's when I kind of had the, my peak. This is where I blogged the most in my life, in 2012. At the time, I was what? 15, 16 years old. I was in school still. But I used to post a new tutorial every day about Photoshop, HTML, CSS. And it was a pain to get this working on IE because, at this time, Chrome was already a thing. Firefox was already a thing. But IE was still very prominent, especially in Brazil, because this website was basically done for Brazilian people. And it was just really painful to get all the CSS working on there, all the JavaScript working on there. But yeah, take a look, guys. See what you find about it. I actually got paid way more doing this shit back in the day than what I do now on YouTube, and that's a fun fact for you. And yeah, things just happen. Local storage is part of the browser API you can use to store data between sessions into the browser API. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. So it's like a session thing, right? So it stores your preferences between instances of the browser. Evil guess, I'm working on a blog. EWLL guess, and that's not even evil guess. What the hell? But yeah, Carlos, that's nice, dude. Yeah, blogging is definitely a good way to keep your knowledge up to date and to get your thoughts out, right? People like to read most of the time, so. Local storage get item color theme is equals to dark. If the color theme is dark, we add dark to the HTML class list. So the document get element. So this is the HTML. Okay, so everything under HTML will have the dark class applied to it. Oh, that's a nice way of doing it. So I guess this is a Tailwind class, right? So if I search for Tailwind dark and light. Is that what it is? Dark and light. Else remove. Okay. So light is on by default, obviously, but Tailwind dark. Yeah, so that will be a Tailwind class. That's very neat. I didn't, this is a very nice way of doing it. I like that. Yeah, no issues with this so far. The theme toggle, which is theme toggle. Okay, click function is a anonymous function that is doing what? So the theme toggle, what is that in the layout? Just out of interest. If we open layout.tempo, or .tempo, in fact, is that where it is? Layout.tempo. No, theme toggle is not a thing. Maybe if we search it here, so theme toggle. Is in the header. Ah, I see. I have a bit of Tailwind knowledge, so I can help a bit. Nice, Carlos. Yeah, if I'm struggling, dude, yeah, I'm definitely gonna ask on the chat. By the way, I'm guessing you guys can see the text very well, and the chat is not getting in the way. Because sometimes when the lines get too big, I find that the chat kind of obscures that, so it's very difficult. Just a little plug here. If you guys are watching this stream for the first time, I would massively appreciate if you can subscribe. And in fact, this stream was actually meant to have it was actually meant as a session for us to create our own subscriber alert, but we're probably not going to have time for that today. Still, I might actually just get a ready to use a YouTube plugin or something that will integrate to OBS. Okay, so class toggle button, class toggle. This is on the header, make dark mode button. Okay, so that I guess is. Ah, I see. Cool. So this is the button code, which is nice. There are some transformations. Cool. So what do they do? The transformations, I guess, will... Is it meant to transform into anything here, Al? Because it's just like toggling it. I see there's some rotations, so... But anyway, that's cool. I am probably not the authority on JavaScript either, so I'm just seeing if everything makes sense to me. So if you click on the button, you'll toggle dark mode, and you set the local storage to dark, otherwise you set it to light. That makes sense. So HTML class list, if it contains dark, we set it to dark. Wait, what? Otherwise we set it to light. Shouldn't it be the opposite? So if the HTML class list contains dark, and you've clicked on toggle, you should be now going to... Oh yeah, that's what this is doing now. No, yeah. This kind of like is the opposite of what I expect. So if it's currently dark and the class list contains dark, we should be going to light. What happens if we change that out of interest? Theme toggle looks like it's just a button to turn on and off the dark mode. Transformation should make animation smoother. Ah, I see, I see. So that's what the transform is doing, I guess, right? Yeah, I would expect it to be like that, but I'm not gonna mess around with that. Because if it already contains dark, that means it's on dark mode, and we should be toggling it to light. Otherwise, we set it to dark, right? But this is the other way around. Anyway. So document get element by ID, demo form, add, submit, new verified. Okay, so this is the email verification. So this is just the JavaScript code for the entire website, including the content or the contact form, I guess, right? So if I do this, there will be some verification here, which is the default Tailwind stuff, I guess, right? So verified, demo form. The transform is the icon. It's SVG coded. Ooh, nice. So I guess it's more than... Yeah, so I saw that you've got an SVG image there. But does it include both the light and the dark icon in there? And that's what the transform do. The transform is the rays, having different angles around the circle. Cool, let's see that. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't get that. The rays around... Okay, I see the rays around the sun. Ah, I see. That's very smart. That's actually very smart. I like that. I like the moon as well, though. The sun. I see, yeah. Very good, very good. Loved it. Yeah, so JavaScript looks okay to me. I can't really say much on here because, yeah, I mean, I'm not a massive JavaScript guy, even though it is actually my job to work on JavaScript. I'm still learning it, but this looks fine to me. So you've got constants everywhere. Yeah, no issues with that. Client-side templates, you've just renamed it from client-side templates to, yeah, you moved it to scripts, that's fine. You also moved the HTMX to scripts, that's okay as well. So far, so good. So Tailwind config.js. Right, this is the important stuff. We did this on the stream, and I kind of remember well. So we've got the content here in the temple. So that's where it's going to get all the classes from, if I'm not mistaken. This is just basic as fuck, yeah. It's fine. I prefer basic, honestly. Like when reviewing stuff, I much prefer something to be basic than complicated as hell. With the purpose of making things easier to maintain later, or not maintain, but extend. Yeah, I just hate when things are complicated just to make them very extensible. Because at this point, we don't need all of that, right? So basic is fine at the moment. So export theme, container, padding. Okay, so this is some theme configuration. I'm fine with that. Dark mode, selector, export. I don't know what this does, to be honest. And we require the plugins Tailwind and topography. I'm fine with that. That's good as well. Now, about temple. That you've added it. Yeah, so thank you very much, Al. We were actually, I understand that we were actually missing an about form here. Not about form, but an about page. So as soon as you clicked on that before this PR, you would just get a 500 or a 400 error, which wasn't nice. But yeah, you just have a make layout, make under construction, which is the thing. Yeah, the next thing we should probably look at is this make layout, because I remember that being a very good point in the stream that Al did, actually. I was watching it. So Al actually abstracted the layout stuff. So every single page that we have, or we had on Urchin, was basically a custom temple file. So even though they all shared the same layout, so they all had the same header, basically they all had the same like footer and stuff, each of them would actually declare that HTML separately in separate files. So this make layout function is actually a nicety over that, because it will create the layout around the page and you can just input the content here, which is the temple component. And I kind of like that. I really like that. And I think it's a very nice way to abstract that. So thank you very much, Al. Can we get a round of applause for Al for doing that? By the way, try to open this side in an incognito window. Input. Oh, yeah, that's true. So if I go in incognito and then I do localhost, nah, it's still dark mode, unfortunately. What I can do is I can just use, do I have Chrome? Yeah, I have Chrome here, so I can just use that instead. Because I'm pretty sure I didn't set, no, thank you. I did not set, Jesus Christ, how many? There you go. So that works a little bit better. Yeah, so this doesn't have my system settings from Windows, which is probably coming across as dark mode all the time. So I like that, Al. I like it very much. So the transition is very good as well. We'll get to images in a bit, for sure. Under construction, services under construction. Contact form still works nice on light and dark mode. And we still get the verification here, right? Yeah, there you go. Cool. I love it. I do kind of want to turn on the Google reCAPTCHA to see if that's still working as well. But yeah, open a blog post and switch between light and dark. Ooh, excited. Yeah, this looks snazzy. This looks snazzy. I love it. So is the color different? The color theme is all the same for sure. Just making sure. My eyes. Hello, Trend. Welcome to the stream, dude. And yeah, sorry, I'll turn back to dark mode forever now. Sorry about that. Our best programmer on Discord, for sure. Yeah, I was by far the best programmer on the Discord that we have. The guy's got a lot of experience with anything. So if you ever have any questions, join the Discord and ask Al, because he'll know the answer to. If I can't answer, I'll be able to answer for sure. I like that, Al. Very nice. Let's go back to the review. So I guess what you do here is you've got the header. That's nice. And then you've got the make footer. Make footer, is it still the same? Is it still the same or not? Yeah, I guess it did change, right? So you have the yeah. So nothing much has changed apart from just having the box stuff being styled by Tailwind, which is definitely nice. I had one rule in my old team: if you want to ask questions, you have to send me a good meme. So I keep the rule for sure. Yeah, I mean I think the guys are doing a very good job at that at the Discord, to be honest. Well, I do get some good memes. I do get some questionable ones sometimes as well that I don't understand, or maybe I'm just too old to understand them. But most of them are quite good, so I appreciate that very much. Anyway, layout. Yeah, so we've got all the script stuff here been included. HTMX for sure, client-side templates, application. So we've got the fav icon. Oh yeah, we've got a little fav icon, don't we? I'm going to take a look at that. What does it actually look like? I can't really see it very much. That's the only thing here. I can't really see it very much on dark mode. But I guess it's like an urchin. I can kind of get the outlines of it as being an urchin, right? So if we look at that, fav icon, .ico, right? So yeah, let's fav icon. And that's what the fav icon is. And I think this is a very good logo, actually, Al. So if you allow me, I can put this on the README at the very top. So it looks kind of nice. At the moment, we just have a meme in there, and it doesn't, it's funny, but should probably be something a little bit more professional. I'll help me a bunch already. I really appreciate it, but I don't have any memes. Yeah, you need to work on that, dude. You need to work on that. Page views. Okay, so import. This is not found. Okay, so you've got a not found page now. Yeah, the only, this is shallow stuff, but the only criticism is that I usually like to add a new line at the end just so we don't get this weird little, forbidden symbol on GitHub, but that's fine. I can add that. Not a problem. Okay. So resource cannot be found. What we could do here as well is maybe we show the requested resource in the header text or something, right? We can probably do that as well, just as a nice to have kind of thing. Yeah, I'm gonna put a new line comment here. So new line, all of these files at the end, just so we keep the consistency between the Go files and these. I need an icon. I thought it was unprofessional without one. Yeah, for sure. A website without an icon is not professional. I've been thinking about paying someone on Fiverr as well to make a very good Urchin thing, but this is a good start, Al. So maybe I can get your input on that if I ever pay someone to do it. Right, so page tempo. You can see here how this thing makes the how make layout makes things a lot simpler. So instead of having the same header content on the same body declaration in every page, in every tempo page. For those who don't know, tempo is what we use here for the templating in Golang. So you can work with HTML quite easily, and that translates into functions. So instead of having all of this, we can just have a make layout and then put the raw content in here, right? So yeah, I'm kind of fine with that. So the raw content is, yeah, tempo.raw, that will actually render whatever text it is in here as a HTML, as HTML content. If you don't include that, you will not have things rendered as HTML, and it will just be escaped with tempo. That's why we have the tempo raw there. Okay, make post. This is largely very simple, actually. Yeah, so we have basically the same thing, right? So make post page. We have the content here, make post. Okay, so the make post does have, okay, so you've abstracted this. So given the title and the content, you actually create the div for it. I mean, the only thing that I would say is instead of using div here, we can probably use article at the moment, because that's what we had before. I'm not sure if there's any point. Do you guys know what the benefit of using all these HTML5 tags are? Because I know that at some point HTML5 was introduced, and with that we got a bunch of other box or div style elements. One of them is article, where you indicate that you have an article on the page or a blog post or something like that. But I can do that on here as well. I think it's for accessibility. Yeah, exactly. Accessibility and SEO. So that's yeah, I agree with that. That's probably easier, right? Especially if you have like software that's like reading the web pages for you. If you're like blind or something, then yeah, it makes it more accessible. I agree with that. The rest is fine, to be honest. I mean, article at the end of the day is just a div, right? It's just a div that has some accessibility stuff on there. And then we've got make layout, make post. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm loving this make layout. It's very nice. So actually, you know, although we have shit, I just can't get comfortable in this chair, guys. I'm sorry, I'm moving way too much, and I do apologize for that. Although we have like 38 file changes, we basically review this. There is a few changes that I'm going to push to this, which are the changes in the Docker file. I think you needed wget, which I've already changed here anyway. And we're going to see if the tests are passing, so I can maybe fix that as well for you. Could you give it an ID? Yeah, I guess you could give it an ID. Is there any purpose in giving an ID aside from maybe SEO? Even accessibility-wise, like, is there any point in giving an ID if you don't need it? Because, yeah, I'm not a massive the div. Yeah, maybe you could give an ID as well to say post or something. But if you change it to an article, I'm kind of happier. So services is another page that we didn't really have anything. And then we have shared.temple. Okay, so share.temple has all of the utils stuff. I like that. Yeah, this gets the seal of approval. This gets the looks good for me. I'm going to comment on this now because we're going to make some of these changes. The very first one that I would like to change is, we haven't really seen it here. Wait, did we even take a look at the Docker Compose? Or have we just skipped it there? Yeah, you didn't change it at all, did you? Yeah, so you didn't have to make any changes on the Docker Compose, which is fine. But now I'm going to introduce a change on the Docker Compose. Because the way you kind of run this, for those who are interested in running this, the link is in the description of the video, by the way. We do have a Docker Compose file that starts all of the needed services here. So that is, it starts a container for MariaDB, which is the DB that we're using here, the SQL DB. Also a container for the admin application and a container for the normal application. So the admin application is where you add all the posts and whatnot. And that's usually what you'd like disable from the outside world. So people won't be able to access that, but by default, you can access it. And then the normal applications where you can actually see the web page running on localhost with all the blog posts that you've added to it. I'm a beginner noob, so not sure. It's all right, Trent. We're all noobs here now, man. You're in the right place. You're in a place full of noobs. But yeah, I mean, what I did change here, oh gosh, yeah. So I changed the Docker file slightly. So it now it doesn't remove the wget, which is something that Al needed for the pipeline, because we do have a pipeline, believe it or not, even though this project is maybe not being well looked after very much recently. We still have a pipeline that runs like tests, runs the build, and a bunch of other stuff. And for that to work, it kind of has to build the stuff, right? It has to build the entire Go application. And at some point, I think Al uses wget for something. I don't know what it is, actually. Let me see. What is wget being used for? Wget, right. So you've changed the make file. Let's see what this does now. So install Tailwind. Yeah, this is just installing Tailwind. That's fine. Yeah, this is actually another thing here. So Tailwind, we should probably be specific about the Tailwind version. And also, I guess we can check and do a checksum, right? Do a checksum. Now, what do I mean by this? So in this line here, you can see that we're downloading Tailwind, the latest version, right? This is fine in most cases, right? It's fine in most cases, but it does also mean that whenever Tailwind has a new release, and let's say it's a major release, right? So you go from version 2 to version 3.x, then this will download the latest, which is version 3. So it may actually break your website at some point, even though you've got no changes on any of the code in your project. And this is part of the reason why I like to use specific versions whenever declaring dependencies or declaring, downloading things from the internet, because it's much easier. Now, the checksum is something you also do when you download something. So if you download a file from the internet, you can do a checksum and make sure that the hash is what you expect. And that prevents people from, say someone hacked Tailwind, which is obviously not going to happen. It's very, 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 very low chance of that happening, because I'm sure that that's a very, very serious project and it takes security into account. But say someone did manage to hack it, and they've now changed all the Tailwind files for version 2 that you're using in your project. So you have some malicious code in there. So they, if you don't have a checksum, you'll still be downloading that particular version, but with the code changed. And the checksum prevents you from doing some of that. And this kind of stuff is already available in the package manager. So for example, if you have any Go dependencies and you install a Go dependency, I don't know, Go, what's a Go dependency that we use here? I don't even know. Temple is a good one, because that's the one we've been talking about. If you add Temple on your Go mod files, you specify a version and Go will make sure that the lock file has the hash that it's used. So if they ever change it, it will be like, hold on a second, we can't do this because we can't download this file because it's a different package from what we previously used, or something like that. So obviously on the terminal, we don't really have that. So it's always good to have a particular version for something, and also a checksum whenever you're doing something like this, a wget. So we are probably going to add that in here. So, okay, yeah, and this is the reason why we need wget. I was just making sure that we understand why. But yeah, let's get started then. So first of all, what is Tailwind? Where are you downloading Tailwind from, Al? And then we can make that very first change. So we have this one here, right? So I am looking for this. What is this downloading? Okay, I have no idea. It's just a file. Okay, it's just a file. But if I do a download, if I just go to the download, releases, download. Right, I guess what we probably want is one of these versions, right? So as of a month ago, this is version 4. I'm guessing I was probably using 3. Oh, you can probably confirm that on stream, but if you are using 3, this is what I'm going to go for. And you can see here that as soon as I hover over any of this, so the actual one that we want is x64, right? We have x64 here, which is the binary that we want. We're going to copy the link and we're going to make some changes to the make file. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to replace all of that by this. And on top of everything, what we want to do, I'm just going to move into a temporary directory here. Do I have the temporary directory already? There you go, yeah. Oh, I already have a temporary Tailwind binary in here as well, but Tailwind binary. I forgot that we did an entire stream on Tailwind, and if you're interested in learning how it works, I would recommend watching that stream. It's probably on the same playlist as the Urchin ones. So what I was doing is doubly getting that, right? So that's what it's going to be doing on the pipeline. And we're going to chmod it plus X here, Tailwind. And what we want to do is some sort of SHA-256 sum on Tailwind, and make sure it matches that, right? So what we want to do is very easy now. So SHA-256 is the command that you guys probably want to use for do some sort of hashing check real quick. We are going to add that in here. So SHA-256 sum on Tailwind, this file name here. I want to copy and paste it so I don't get it wrong. And we want to check that this is the same as something else, right? So how can we do that? So SHA-256 yeah, this will be an if statement in bash, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna have to refresh my mind with statements again. SHA-256 some terminal check. Does SHA-256 take an expected value? So SHA-256 some, if we do man here to bring up the man page for it. So binary check, read sums from the files and check them. tag create text 0, quiet status, strict 1, version. Okay, so it seems like check is the one we want to do. Read SHA-256 sums from the files and check them. Let's see how we can use that one. So SHA-256 sum check flag. That's what we want to do. So check this. So my SHA is equals to that. Some binary. Okay, so we just do that, I guess. Wait, what? So we can't archive, check status. I've downloaded this. Status flag prevents all std output. Well, in my case, wait, I'm not getting it. So let's see. Example, echo that, and we SHA-256 sum. Okay, so we just put the expected one. So we can do something like this, right? So we do, first of all, let's do a SHA-256 sum on Tailwind. Get the actual SHA here. What we can do is and echo that, I guess, right? So we echo this line and then do a SHA-256 sum dash C. Okay, but if we were to change even one of these things, so say change a 3 to a 2, it'll be not okay, and I want this to actually return a 1. That's good. And again, if I change that to the right one, okay, that should return a 0. That's good, because that means it's going to work on the pipeline. So if the SHA-256 sum doesn't match that of Tailwind, then it's going to work, right? And another way of doing this is like if I were to somehow override that file, right? So if I were to, I don't know, we can kind of move Tailwind to tailwind.backup or something, right? And then we echo hello world here, just create a file, Tailwind CSS. We do that. And now we do the SHA-256 sum. It should not be okay. There you go. So in effect, this is what I'm trying to do here. So if anyone changes that binary from what we expect, the pipeline will fail, right? So that is another nice thing we can have here. So we echo, what was it? This whole thing. That's what we want to do. And we're good to go now. I think this is pretty much good. I'm going to push that change. What did we change here? Oh. So we changed the makefile. What we did. So check. So Tailwind changes on the makefile. Make sure we download a particular version of Tailwind. And make sure we run a checksum on that binary as well. Wait. Okay, so why did it not work? I'm trying to push to owl's branch here. Updates were rejected because a push branch tip is behind its remote counterpart. Oh, there's no way. What? So if I git pull out main, and if I push that, yeah, why can't I push to owl's branch? So I've got a remote here. So git remote list. So git remote v, I guess. We've got owl, push and fetch. Interesting. So why is it that I can't? Updates were rejected because a pushed branch tip is behind its remote counterpart. Check out this branch and integrate the remote changes. Git pull. Yeah, so I have done that. So git pull. Oh, main. It's already up to date, so I am confused now. Let's Google. Why is Git not letting me push? Git push to PR branch. This is confusing me. I thought that's how we do it. So we did. I have checked out like that. So have you fetched the latest changes? I think I did, yeah. So I'm basically on your remote here. So our main is just tracking the your branch. So if I do, maybe if I do a git fetch, so git rebase our main. Kind of rebase you have stat changes. What? Yeah, so I'm definitely on your branch for sure. Maybe it's something that you have to enable out, so I'm allowed to kind of push to your branch, but I thought we had that because that's usually one of the things I check. So here, so maintainers are allowed to edit this pull request, which means I should be able to push it. Let me pop my changes real quick. Interesting. Interesting indeed. So git push, repo head, target branch. Right. So maybe I'm missing the head. Is that git push owl to head main? Everything's up to date. It is not though. Git fetch owl head main. If I do a git push, a git pull in fact. I'm so confused right now. So confused. Maybe I'll do the whole thing, right? So if I went to your repo itself and explicitly passed that in here, so git push that to head main. Yeah, it says everything's up to date. I am confused. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've ever done this where I actually pushed something to someone else's PR branch in a different report, in a fork, essentially, right? So, so local branch name to, okay, yeah, I see. So maybe I'm missing that, right? So if I do a git push owl main to main, is that gonna work? No, because it's already up to date. But that's the same as head, right? We had head, which was basically our main here. Let's chat GPT here. Because I don't want to waste too much time on him. So how to push a commit to a different fork main used in a PR of my repository. Right, let's see what GitHub will say here. So what I did is like I added Owl as a remote so I can pull his changes. That's done for sure. I created a new branch from Owl. I guess, yeah, from branching off Owl main's thing, Owl's main branch, made the changes, and now I'm trying to push it back, right? So add the fork as a remote. This is not how you add a fork as a remote, but okay. So yeah, contribute to fork. I've done this. We have for sure got Owl's changes here. So git remote -v will show you all the remotes you can see here. So we fetched it. So git fetch. Just gonna do it again. Git fetch owl main. It is fetched. We did a checkout. Okay. So maybe I have to create a new branch that actually triggers this. So what I did is I didn't quite do this. I think I just created a new branch from Owl's main branch without saying where it should track. So contribute to branch, contribute to fork. Let's try that, right? So git checkout -b owl. Then we have actually, what is this one? I am changing the makefile improvements. They'll contribute to fork. Yeah, no, that has to be main. Contributor fork. Wait, contributor branch, which is main. Contributor fork owl, and that will be the branch name, right? So that will be makefile improvements. No, I'm not quite understanding this, to be honest. Have you guys ever done this? Have you guys ever had to push a commit to someone else's PR? This is... I'm not sure how I've never done this in the past. 7 years of development. This is the first time doing it. Yeah, this is kind of confusing. So here should be the contributor fork. The contributor branch is definitely main. Owl. And then owl main. So owl main is not a commit or branch in main. Branch main cannot be created. So this should be my local name, right? So something like makefile improvements. There you go. That looks a little bit better. Okay, so git push owl main. No, is everything up to date? So check out, make the changes, contributor fork, branch name. Okay, that's a little bit better now, because it did try to push some stuff. Remote rejected. Oh yeah, permission denied. Now this is the one. Ooh. Yeah, but it's trying to push it to a different branch, and that's not what we want. Huh. Create a new PR. I don't want to create a new PR. Yeah, I think you might have to enable something on your fork out to allow me to push this. Maybe that's what's missing here. But it's interesting, because I thought it should just work. Is that going to work? No. This is surprising. I thought it should just work. And it definitely didn't work, right? So yeah, I still don't have that now. Let me check. Yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to make some more changes, which is definitely the stuff that I've recommended here. So let's see another one. So article instead of div, we can do that in a second. Specific. Okay, we can do articles versus div for sure. So this is in the layout dot temple. Now, hopefully this should not... No, that's going to be in the post dot temple, right? Yeah, so we basically change the div here to article, if I can spell it, G. Wait a second. Why is that? Maybe it's onto something. Oh, this commit is empty. This is not my commit, you see. Wait, yeah. I just messed up. I think I just messed up. So if I do an add here, right? I did an add, then I do a git commit. That didn't go anywhere though. So I'm kind of thinking that the makefile... Oh, there you go. Git commit. Did the commit command fail? Git commit, add that. Okay. Ah, didn't know any... Okay, so I see. somehow this is no longer working. So commit to. Okay, yeah. I know exactly what I messed up. So I forgot to add a -m here. That's why. So there. I forgot to say that this is the message. Right, so now if I did something like git push al main. Nah, it still didn't work. So git push. There you go. Oh my god, that was a nightmare. So, moral of the story, I think I was doing the right thing in the first place with my assumptions, but the commit didn't go through, and I failed to see that, so the commit command just didn't work. Now if we look at it, so hopefully we should have another commit here, right? Yay. Oh no, we don't. Oh yeah, we do. There you go. That's a little bit better for sure. The commit message is kind of shit, so I'm gonna rebase that. Version of Tailwind. And then we're gonna make sure we do a checksum on the binary. That's it. I'm going to force it release. Now we should have like a little nice message in here, hopefully. So if I click on this, there you go. We got the description there. Yeah, don't do anything, Al. You're doing fine, mate. It's just me, as usual. Yeah, let's move the article stuff now. Article, we've already got that there, so we'll do one thing at every time. Also, Al, I'm guessing it's okay for me to make these changes, right? I've just been butting it in, but I thought it would be like a nice thing to do to just get this PR up and running on the pipeline. So we're doing that very quickly on the stream, and I hope that's okay. But if you want to make the changes yourself, dude, let me know, and I can just do the Docker container stuff. So we have use post. First of all, does it still work? Yeah, we changed it to an article. We need to check that it still works, right? So Docker compose up. And the test for this is just to click on a post and see if it's actually there, right? So if we do localhost, it's going to take a while for it to actually start. It's eventually going to start, for sure. It's rebuilding the entire thing. And there you go. So if you click on the post, yeah, it still looks nice. Does it still look the same as it was before? I think so, right? So just going to inspect the element to see if... Does it still look nice? Like it's centered on the left. It's not really centered. Was it meant to be centered out? Let me undo that change and see. Because it's definitely not centered anymore. I'm not sure if it was meant to be centered. Bam, 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 bam. By the way, if anyone's got any questions, anything that you want to talk about, feel free to message the chat. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video because it helps me out quite a lot. Thank you very much. I'll stop here. So if we undid everything here, and if we started Docker Compose again, this is what we had. And this is what we have with the article. And this is what we have with div. Let me just see. Yeah, it looks the same. It's not meant to be centered. It's fine. Nice, yeah. Cool. I was just making sure that I didn't break anything. So I'm going to have to do that. Okay. We're going to push this real quick as well, just as a quick commit. God damn it. Docker Compose takes ages to let go of the containers. moving post div to article. Okay, we should have that in there as well. So basically we have done 2 of the overhaul stuff, right? There you go. Can you do a Docker Compose tutorial at some time soon? I get Dockerfile a bit, but the Docker Compose kind of gets me. Yeah, so we can, yeah, that's definitely a video I can make. So it's something we can probably do in the next week or something. Because it's not too difficult. It's actually very, very easy to get like a set of containers that needed to be run for an application with Docker Compose. So yeah, definitely. So I can use Urchin as an example actually. So we can see how, for example, we spin up the MariaDB container first, and only when that's up and running do we run the other containers because they rely on MariaDB running. So yeah, you kind of get a tutorial with everything in there if you use Urchin as an example. So yeah, for sure, dude. That's a very good idea. Okay. So conversation. So I'm going to resolve this one. I'm going to resolve this one as well. So maybe we show request resources in the text header. Now, I'm willing to let this go, Al. I don't really care about this, to be honest. What do you think? We can just do this later, honestly. I depend on ChatGPT for all my Docker Compose needs. So are you running a model locally, or are you just talking about you actually just depend on the API being running? Because then you can, yeah, you don't need a Docker container just to run GPT, right? I guess it will be just containers to run your actual application and make sure that the endpoint works. With that said, Al, I think this actually deserves a merge now, except I still need to push the changes here. So what I did is I changed the Docker file a little bit. As I said, we have got wget, and I also changed the Docker Compose to use the new image that I have with wget, right? So I'm going to add all of these things in here. So we should have Docker Compose. Wait, what? No, this is not, I did not mean to do this for sure. Git remove, or in fact, git reset, or git reset that. And this one as well was not meant to be that. This is why you don't use git add star, by the way, or git add dot for that matter. It's meant to be those two, right? So git commit, use the new image for the build. Okay. Push out head main. Now, hopefully, we should see the pipeline running, up and running again. So let's make sure that is the case. Right. While the pipeline is running, let's look at some of the messages. So if you guys want to talk to me, now is the time. When I run my API on a Docker file and have ChatGPT create a Docker file, wait. Let me read this again. I depend on ChatGPT for all my Docker Compose needs. I see. So use ChatGPT to write a Docker Compose. Okay. So when I run my API on a Docker file and have ChatGPT create a Docker file to run it along Postgres and give me the commands, right? The issue you might have with that, and I'm not sure if this is your actual issue, Carlos, is that the command, the health check command that ChatGPT will give you to make sure that Postgres is up and running might not actually be correct. And that's one of the problems I had with MariaDB. So I think I got a simple example online. But the health check, which is what actually checks that a container is running, for MariaDB was just returning true. So in other words, saying that MariaDB is running as soon as the container started and MariaDB as a process started, which was not true. Like you actually have to wait for the databases to be started. You have to wait for MariaDB to do some internal initialization. So I found a better command to use for those purposes on the stream as well. So I can probably give you the link for that stream if you want. But let me just show you what I mean. So Docker Compose. So if you have the health check, service healthy, So this is the health check command I ended up using. So like whenever the container is up and running and I can run this command and it returns successfully. In other words, I query MariaDB to make sure that I can use one of the databases that's in there. Only then I start my actual application containers. Now, I can kind of guess that this is the problem you have with Postgres as well. So maybe you're starting your application a little bit too early. So, something like a nice health check command will work well. And I really doubt that ChatGPT is going to give you a nice one, but you never know. It may do. So build failed. Right, let's see why it failed. Okay, so why did it fail? Duplicate not found. Oh yeah, that's right. It failed because we need to look at the CI, right? So the YAML files, so build. We're still using 0.2 here. So let me just search for all of the Urchin Golang and then change all of them to 0.3. 0.4 there. 0.4 there. Okay. Now we should all be good, for sure. So I'm just going to use Git interactive to add all this stuff. Okay, yeah, we got that now. Really good. Again, pipeline will start again. So like if you guys want to talk about anything else. Yeah, that's exactly right. I keep getting that error. I always try to find workarounds, but I never really understand what I'm actually doing with the compose stuff. Yeah, so I can definitely mention that on the tutorial. But if you want to be quicker, and if you don't want to wait around for me to actually make the video, which will probably take like a week or two, to be honest, you can go on my channel and look at I think the stream that we did this on was the Docker Compose stream. So that's going to be under the Urchin playlist. I have a playlist for Urchin there. So just look around. There's one where we did the Docker Compose. And that is a stream where I actually talk about all of this. And you can see me struggling for like literally an hour to figure out why Docker Compose was starting the other machines or the other containers before MariaDB was actually up and running. And that's the reason why, is just the health check. Yeah, it's just the health check command. So I would highly recommend understanding how that works. It's not too difficult, actually. Just like periodically runs a command. And then when that command returns true, then the health check passes. So you just got to make sure that the command makes sense. And that's it. Okay. We are going through the build, but we still duplicate not found. What? Which container is it using? Getting Git version, getting actions. So repository is that is fine. Oh, initializing containers, that's the one I'm looking at. So it's still not 0.2 for some reason. But why? What? Did I not add all of them? Right, let me take a closer look. So this is actually failing in build. So build is going to be in the build file. We do have the right one here. I'm not sure why did I not save this? Oh, the file didn't save on VS Code. Amazing. So save all files before we do anything. I'm gonna have to remerge or rebase this into the to the previous commit. Don't forget to put owl and head main here. Okay. Now that should for sure work now because we've got all the machines using the right container. And yeah, let's see. Major overhaul. Why is it not restarting the... There you go. Now, if this passes, if it doesn't pass as well, I'm kind of willing to read this now, and this is something that GTX is still here. GTX send on Discord, and it's a very interesting post, and we're gonna get deep into it. I am wondering if it's worth filling up my water bottle as a little break. You guys can have a little break from me, maybe a 2-minute break. But I'm gonna wait for the build to pass first. I'm here, just a bit sick. Sorry, dude. Is there anything we can do to make you unsick? Can I make you laugh? Can I tell you a joke? I'm shit at telling jokes, by the way. Don't ask me to make a joke on stream because I'm terrible. I'll probably get cancelled. Did you already read it? No. What I did is I went here and told the co-pilot to summarize it for me. So I did this, and I can tell if you read the post, I will laugh. Okay. Yeah, I can tell it's already a little bit controversial because the summary I got here, right? I'm not going to read the summary now, but the summary I got here before was that this person is basically raving about how much better Java is than C for performance, and some of the other whatever measures here. And I can tell that this is either a troll post or something written entirely by a Gen AI, right? So yeah, the author is clueless. Yeah, that's what I gathered. That's what I gathered. But we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Okay, so build is going through now, which is good. Again, if this goes through, we're going to merge it. So amazing work. I will actually give you a little heart emoji here, and I hope you guys do the same. So I'll spend like a good amount of time on here. So he deserves all the praise. And yeah, it's probably one of the best PRs so far on Urchin. Hope you liked it. Yeah, getting heart emojis. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Al deserves it for sure. Al, you can message me your address, dude, on Discord, and I'm going to send you a little Christmas gift. Wait, yeah, I mean, if you trust me, don't. I might troll and then send you like one of those boxes where you open it and then it just like throws confetti all over your house. I'm not going to do that, though. But it would be funny if I did, for sure. Right. I assume that the tests will still pass, right? Because we haven't really changed any of them. We just changed the layout of things. So I'll be very surprised if any of this fails. What could be happening is that we were testing for particular elements. And if we had any of the fixed tests, they might fail. But I suspect that it will be fine. Thank you very much, but it's not needed. All right, dude. There you go. So we did pass. Yeah, okay. Beautiful, beautiful. So PR is going in now, Al. So thank you very much for your work, dude. Thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated. And before we merge it, of course, we're gonna do that little comments here. Wait, can I not? Where do I add? There you go. So if I do that, there you go. If I add my review, I'm gonna give this seal of approval. Looks good to me. And approve it. I think it has to be approved before it has to be merged, for sure. And boom, squash and merge. There you go, Al. Thank you very much. All pipelines passed. Yes, they did. No, they passed. Are these pipelines paid or free? So good question, GTX. These are free. So you get free pipelines with GitHub Actions. I have actually, believe it or not, before I went to Brazil, I filmed 3 videos on pipelines, and they're still sitting around. I've edited one of them. No, I edited the other ones, but I just need to sit down and actually start launching the pipeline course on YouTube, because it's very easy for anyone to get into GitHub pipelines, and it's all free. So I don't see why you wouldn't do that. It's just amazing. But yeah, all passed. We're gonna go onto here in about, I don't know, like I'm gonna say 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes. Just give me some time to go for a quick toilet break, get some water, and maybe get a drink as well. Maybe I'll get a Coca-Cola. But I will see you guys in 2 minutes. So I'll be right back. Let me just mute here so you guys don't listen to me getting water. Oh, fuck it. Why not? See you in a bit. I'm back, just setting up. Hello, Sop. How is it going, dude? Have I just heard Brazil? You have just heard Brazil, yeah. Come to Brazil, dude. 1 second, I'm just trying to get my tablet out because I do have a writing tablet. One of you suggested that maybe we do some writing whenever things get complicated. So I have a graphics tablet now. And I'm back. How's it going, boys? I've just watched Arcane. It's amazing how they already made the entire game based on a Netflix series. Yeah, it's as if programming an entire game or an entire new set of champions and skins is quicker than making the series, which is definitely the case, by the way. And yeah, I've watched it too. It's a very good series. Would recommend for those who just like stories about champions and fights and stuff. And League of Legends, of course. Anyway, I've got my Coca-Cola now as well. So I'm still not sponsored by Coca-Cola, but what do you guys think about my glass here, my cup? I'm not sure if you can see it. It's a Mickey Mouse Halloween cup. And it's definitely not for children, by the way. Right. Boys, so let's get started, right? I have this little thing here, which is a graphics tablet we can draw on the screen in case things get complicated, but I don't assume it will in this post. Just because it's a troll post, I can tell by just knowing GTX that this is going to be a troll post. And I kind of summarized this with AI anyway, so I kind of know what I'm expecting. Well, let's get into it. So Java versus C++ performance. Java explain. So obviously the natural conclusion here at the end of the post is that somehow C++ is going to be more, C is going to be more performant than Java, right? It's worth mentioning that I am in no position to be an authority in either of these languages. More so on Java, I guess, because I've not done much Java. I understand what it is. I understand how it works in general with the JVM and code being compiled into, like, I think it's bytecode or whatever the JVM reads. But I've worked quite a lot with C in the past. So I have been an embedded engineer who worked on developing software for cars. And if you're in that position, you do a lot of C. In my case, I did mostly C++, but I did come across C sometimes, and it's very, the build stack is very similar to C++ anyway, the tools and stuff. So I somewhat know a lot more C than Java, put it that way. You definitely need a Christmas version. Yeah, I definitely need the Christmas version. I definitely need the Christmas hat as well, which I'm probably going to get tomorrow or whatnot. Just before we start the article, if anyone's new here, welcome to the stream. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you post comments here, talk to me, because that generates engagement. And of course, for the YouTube algorithm, that's amazing. Anyway, Java and C++ are two of the most popular programming languages in use today. Both languages have been used to develop a wide range of software applications and platforms. Correct. So far, so good. Java and C are very versatile on their own right, and each has its own benefits and drawbacks when it comes to performance. In this article, we'll explore how Java and C++ compare in terms of performance. Okay, so I'm expecting a bunch of graphics, a bunch of data here. Right? We definitely don't have any of that, so it's just words. But yeah, definitely not making me think that this is generated with AI at all. Is this article racist? It better not be, because if it is, I'm going to get cancelled and I'm going to ban all of you from Discord. So overview of Java and C performance. Java and C are both compiled programming languages with similar syntax. Don't agree, Java is not compiled. It's kind of an intermediate language. It gets compiled into an intermediate language. Yes, but it's still interpreted at the end of the day. And maybe I'm not sure if things changed since I was at university with the JVM situation, but you definitely don't have a compiled version. You definitely don't have compiled code into assembly or binary with Java, and you do with C. C goes straight to the hardware, essentially. No, sadly. And both are used for rapid development of software applications. Java code is compiled into bytecode, before deployment, while C code must be first translated into assembly code before it can be run. No, not really. I mean, you can get the assembly from the code, from the machine instructions, but C goes straight into machine instructions. That's what you have in binaries, by the way. So if you do this, for example, we have a very good example of a binary here, right? So let's look at Tailwind, right? So Tailwind binary here. If you do a hex dump -c Tailwind dot backup, this is the code. This is all binary, well, all essentially machine code that gets compiled somewhere. I'm not sure if Tailwind is C, but somehow they've managed to compile this into binary. So yeah, this is what you get with C. This is not what you get with Java. It's a different interpretation. It's bytecode that is essentially interpreted. So this is actually wrong here. As such, Java programs tend to run faster than programs written in other languages, as the bytecode generated by the Java compiler is highly optimized. No. Yeah, I completely disagree with this. This is not right. This is. Yeah, Java programs are, they can be fast for sure, but saying that Java programs tend to be faster than programs written in other languages is just categorically wrong, because there is an intermediate step of the JVM, then interpreting your code. So that essentially has some overhead. So I'm not sure how much overhead, but it definitely does not mean that it's highly optimized, which is crazy statement right there. Depends on how you define compiled. Yeah, it depends on how you define compiled for sure. If somehow you mean like just-in-time compilation, which is something that happens in Python, I guess. So your Python code gets somewhat compiled to an intermediate step and then run by the Java interpreter. This is basically what happens with Java, right? So Java goes to bytecode, and then the bytecode actually gets interpreted by JVM, which may do some other compilation inside, like just-in-time compilation, but I don't know how it works. Is it part of Java propaganda? I think it is. Yeah, this is big Java. This is a big Java article right here. Do not trust it. C is a lower level language, so programs written in C usually require more lines of code to do the same task. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like Java requires a lot of lines of code as well. So like, what is the average size of the Java program compared to the average size of a C program? Like, yes, in C you probably have to write a bunch of like boilerplate code, but at the same time, you have like so much bloat in Java code. At least from what I remember anyway. I'm not sure if it has changed. Who knows? Transforming clear text to binary code can be understood as compiling. Yeah, you can, but that's not the same as. My point is that that's not the same level of compilation as what C does. With C, you go text to machine code, which is how I'm defining compilation in this process here. But with Java is an intermediate language and then interpreted, which is kind of different. Additionally, C compilers are generally less efficient. Wait, let's get this right. Let me focus on this one, because this is going to be a spicy one. Additionally, C compilers are generally less efficient and optimize fewer lines of code than Java compilers do. I don't know. I can't really speak for Java optimizers, to be honest. So the compiler, let's bring the. Do we have Excalibur somewhere? Yeah. So this is a compiler, right? Let's say that this box is a compiler. We have text here. Can we do text? Yeah. Can we do text? Wait, what? Why is the text so small? Extra large. Let me get this right. One sec, guys. I promise this is going to work. Yeah, this is a compiler. We have text here. We have the compiler here. And a compiler has a bunch of things, right? So they have like, usually, if you're talking about C++ compiler, you have something like a macro expansion. So the preprocessor, which will just read the text files, and then kind of transform macros into things, copy and paste header files around and whatnot. Can I just change this to slightly smaller? I'm going to copy and paste this quite a lot. we have the preprocessor here. We have a bunch of other stuff as well. So like you have the tokenizers for the like symbols and shit. And you know, it just keeps going, ... And you have this thing called the optimizer, which basically looks at your source code, of the structure of your program, and applies certain optimizations to it. I'm going to spell it with British spelling because this is Britain. So yeah, the optimizer's job in a compiler is to essentially look at the structure of your code, the structure of your what's the word? Of like if statements, of your variable declarations, and it will apply optimizations on that. So what do I mean by that? It does things like, you know, unrolling loops, for example. That's a very good example, where maybe if you have a very, very big loop that's happening, you know, quite a lot, it will kind of unroll it. So maybe instead of doing one iteration at a time, it's going to do like 4 of them and essentially make the code faster. It will do things like branchless programming. So if you have very, very simple if statements and the compiler can figure out what you're trying to do with that statement, it won't be a jump. It will just be like a branchless thing. So you can look that up on Google if you want. So bottom line is, C compilers are very, very, very good at doing optimization. The reason being is because as these compilers, you're talking about GCC, you're talking about Golang, they are very, very old. They have a lot of like very, very smart people you know, maintaining the optimizer and making sure that, you know, the techniques are up to date. I would be highly impressed if the Java optimizer is better than the C optimizer, just because C is such a simple language. It's very easy to express a program in C because there isn't a lot of, you know, the standard library of it is very small. The keywords you get on it, you know, the size of them or that set isn't too big. So it kind of makes me think that C compilers would do a better job than optimizing code than Java compilers. But, you know, this is just me saying. Do Brannock. I don't know what that is. So this text, this paragraph here is just crazy. You know, without any data, it's very difficult to assert something like this on the internet. Okay, comparing Java and C performance. I thought you just did up here. Oh, that's the overview. Okay, so we've got the overview, and now we have the actual comparison. And this is where we get the data, right? So where's the data? There's no data. There's no data. So comparing Java and C performance. So when comparing the performance of Java and C, it is important to consider 3 major factors: memory management, processing speed, and scalability. We'll look at these factors in greater detail below. Okay, so memory management. What's the memory management? Processing speed. What is processing speed? I don't know. And scalability. We'll look at these factors in greater detail below. Memory management is an important factor to consider when comparing Java and C performance. Java has an automatic garbage collection feature that helps to manage memory more efficiently than C. This means that Java can free up memory more quickly and efficiently than C, which can lead to improved performance. This is crazy. If you guys know what a garbage collector is, you know that this hurts the performance of your program quite a lot. In whatever language has a garbage collector, so Java, Golang is one of them, I think Python is another one as well, then you know, and if you know what happens under the hood in a program with garbage collection, so for example, your program runs, you create a few variables, and you don't ever mention them again, your Java program is basically using up CPU cycles, right? So it stops running whatever it's doing, and it's going to be like, okay, so these variables are not being mentioned anywhere else, I can get rid of them. That costs performance. That actually causes the performance of a program to go down. So this is very crazy. This statement is insane. Just insane. I think you'd have more fun doing AOC reading this doo-doo. Yeah. I just want to read the whole thing now because we're like, how much more do we have? Okay, we'll hurry up here. We'll hurry up for sure. There are unexpected suspensions in execution, and these are really bad. Yeah, exactly. The processing speed is another factor to consider when comparing Java and C performance. Java is generally faster than C when it comes to processing speed. Wait, processing speed is another factor to consider. Java is generally faster than C when it comes to processing speed, as it's compiled into bytecode, which is then interpreted by a Java machine. Just this explanation here is insane as well. Like, no, this is not true. This means that Java can execute code faster than C, which can lead to improved performance. Are they talking about like the time taken for you, like once you have a file of code written in Java to actually get that running is faster than C? Because I can see that happening. Yeah, maybe. Because in C you have like to go through the whole compilation process and stuff. So if you're talking about compilation versus just interpretation, then yeah, I guess I can agree with this a little bit, but they're also using the term processing speed, which isn't that. This is something else entirely. I'm pretty sure this is a Blake blog post. It must be, yeah. Finally, scalability is an important factor to consider when compiling Java and C performance. Java is designed to be more scalable than C, as it can be used to create applications that can run on multiple platforms. And C isn't, right? You know, what do you reckon is running on your remote control for your TV? Is it Java? Where's SOP when you need him? Is Java everywhere? Yeah, this is also crazy because C compiles down to more hardware than Java does for sure. I do get the point though that if you have, yeah, let's bring this up because it's actually quite important. So if this was to be taken seriously, which I'm not at all, you can bring on the point that Java is probably easier to port to other platforms than C is, because with Java, all you need to do is to have the JVM running in whatever platform you're using, right? So for example, you can have the JVM running on a computer, you can have it running on a Raspberry Pi, or on a phone for that matter, on an Android phone. And you don't really have that much setting up to do. But with C code, you kind of have to like either compile your code in those platforms with the proper compilers, or you have to set up cross compilation, which makes things harder to I won't say scale here, but it makes it harder to port to different platforms. But I would say that C is definitely more portable than Java is. Scalability is definitely the wrong term used here, if that's what this person was trying to portray. I don't know. Memory management in Java and C. I thought we just talked about that, but let's just read it quickly. Java has better memory management than C. Yeah, C has no garbage collection. You have to do your own memory management. C does not have any automatic garbage collection, meaning that the developer must manually free up unused memory in their programs. Correct. This means that C program require a lot more manual code. Correct. And is a lot of, you know, it's a cause for a lot of bugs, to be honest. So in Java, you don't get memory management bugs. Java's garbage collection also helps to reduce the risk of memory leaks, which can cause programs to crash or become unstable. In C, memory leaks can occur if developers forget to free up memory that is no longer used. Yeah, this can lead to programs becoming slow, unstable, or can be difficult to debug. And they're forgetting the most important aspect of it, which is also, it causes a lot of security bugs, to be honest. There is a funny bit about compilation down there. This is conflating scalability and portability. Yeah, this for sure is, you know, she was supposed to use portability here and not scalability. Processing speed in Java and C. I thought we just talked about processing speed. The processing speed of Java and C is strongly dependent on the execution environment. Programs written in either language will usually run faster when compiled on machines with higher cores and higher what? The cores have nothing to do with, you know, the time you've taken to run a single core program, by the way. And a higher clock speed. Yeah, the clock speed does for sure. But, you know, where you compile those programs have nothing to do with how long they run, or like, you know, the speed at which they run. Because you can have things like cross compilation in C. So you can compile code for my machine, for example, on a Raspberry Pi. You can do that. The compilation is going to be slow, but running it on my machine is going to be faster. So it's also important to know that the programs written in either language would generally run faster if they make use of native libraries. What do they think are native libraries? I'll give you a little guess here. So native library is just equals to a C library or C++ library, dude. So yeah, basically they're saying that Java can be faster if you just use C. This is crazy. So Java is faster if you use C libraries in it, which is fair enough. I'm not hating on Java, by the way. I may be coming across as a Java hater. I'm not a Java hater. I'm just a hater of this blog post. Put it that way. In addition, the optimization of code can also have a significant impact on the speed of execution. By writing code that's more efficient, yeah, we know that. I'm not even going to bother reading this because I think I agree with that. Lemao. Scalability of Java and C. I thought we just talked about it. The scalability of Java and C. Java code is much more portable than code in C, as it can run on virtually any platform. Yeah, we talked about that already. I'm not going to bother reading this bit. right? Java is also more secure than C, as it has built-in security features such as sandboxing and bytecode verification. I think I agree with this bit. So I would say that Java is generally more secure than C. This makes it much more difficult for malicious code to be injected into a Java program. Almost, more or less, right? You can still have shit code pushed into any repository. Furthermore, Java's garbage collection feature helps to reduce memory leaks, which can be a major issue with C code. Yeah. Oh my god, this doesn't end. This doesn't end. Right. It's funny that they try to sell their AI product right on the side that tells me never to use that AI product. Yeah, exactly. This is a serious website though, Bitu. I've definitely seen posts in this website before. It's just so crazy that someone allowed this post to be added to a website that is trying to sell you something. Because, you can either assume that this is one, a troll post, right? So the person is taking the piss here. Or two, that this is a serious post and the person just doesn't know what to do, or she used Gen AI to write a post. In either case, both of these cases, this company isn't really gaining anything of that, right? So they're either gaining hate by doing a troll post, or they're just, if this is a serious post, people are just going to think that whoever works there is I'm not going to say an idiot, but it's, it's lacking in knowledge for sure. Security considerations for Java and C. Due to its lower level of abstraction, programs written in C are much more vulnerable to security threats than programs written in Java. Popular exploitation techniques such as buffer overflow, yeah, that's correct. In contrast, fragmentation attacks which explore memory fragmentation problems cannot be used against programs written in Java due to the language's strong memory management features. In addition, Java programs are more secure than C programs because they are compiled into bytecode, which is then interpreted by the Java virtual machine. This means that the code is not directly executed on the computer's processor, which makes it, but it is in a way. That's what the interpreter will do. It will just interpret the code and execute it on the user's machine, which makes it more difficult for malicious actors and exploit vulnerabilities in the code. Furthermore, the JVM also provides additional security features such as sandboxing. Sandboxing has been used at least like 10 times in this post, right? Oh, just 2. I am wrong. I apologize. I'm wrong. Log4j is a good example of how Java can be injected. Yeah, exactly. Log4j is a very good example. That has happened a few years ago. That was a problem in my company at the time, so I think it was a problem for everyone, really. Cost of development in Java versus C. The cost of development for both languages depends on the size of the project and the skill level of the developer. Generally speaking, the cost of developing a program in Java will appear to be much higher than the cost of developing a program in C due to the additional features that Java offers. I don't know much about this, to be honest. I think, I would say that the costs are pretty much the same because it just... The measure here is like how much does a Java developer cost against a C developer, and I think they're pretty similar, to be honest. There isn't that much of a disparity between salaries. However, when long-term scalability is taken into account, developing a program in Java tends to be more cost-effective. Java is more versatile language than C, and easy to maintain and update programs written in Java. This means that the cost of developing a Java program is often lower in the long run, as the Java programs can be updated and maintained more easily. Additionally, Java can be more secure than C, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What do I think about this? Is it more expensive to write a Java project versus a C project? Or in fact, let's flip that. Is it more expensive to write a C program or a C project than a Java project? I would probably say that... no, to be honest. And here's my take on it, right? So although it's very... I'm not going to say it's easy to find Java developers because there's, it's a very popular language and there's definitely a lot of developers out there doing Java. Even though I feel like there are less C developers out there than Java, and I don't have any data on this. This is just what I feel, and this is just my opinion. Because those developers who do C tend to work in industries that get paid lower in general. So I'm talking about embedded development. I'm talking about lower level coding, maybe either in graphic software or whatever. Unfortunately, my experience on those industries is that it generally pays less because people don't move around as much. So they will stick to a company. So you're working for, I don't know, like a car maker doing C code for cars. the amount of people that I worked with in that industry that were there for like more than 15 years is insane compared to any other industry that I've seen. So that means that people get, they only get pay rises within the company. They don't move around too much, which means that the salaries are generally lower in the end. So I would, if there is any disparity in pay between Java and C, and therefore the cost per developer is higher in C, that isn't going to be much. So I don't think I agree with this statement at all. But yeah, I do agree with the point that Java programs are generally safer than C, which means that your costs might come down because you might have like legal issues, because if you introduced a bug in a very, very kind of, what's the word, sensitive part of your project. And yeah, in that case, yeah, C can be more expensive, for sure. Popularity of Java versus C. Java is one of the most popular programming languages in the world, with millions of users worldwide. On the other hand, C has been around for much longer and remains popular amongst experienced developers. Although Java has more users overall, there are still many dedicated users who prefer C for its performance benefits. Wait, what? They just said that C has performance benefits over Java, and this whole article is saying otherwise. Okay, confused. I'm very confused. C is used for systems programming such as operating systems, device drivers, and embedded software. Java, on the other hand, is used for web development, mobile development, and enterprise applications. Java is also used for game development, but C is still the preferred language for many game developers due to its performance benefits. So they are negating all of the points they've made here by just writing this bit here. Advantages of using Java over C. Using Java over C offers a number of advantages, including better memory management, more secure programs, easier debugging, and faster processing speeds due to optimized bytecode, as opposed to assembly code. No one's running assembly code, by the way. Your machine is running hardware code. Please, can I get this fixed? Bito, if you're watching this, fix this, please. I don't like it. Additionally, with Java, there is no need to worry about fragmentation attacks. Okay, blah, blah, blah. This is just reiterating the things there. Conclusion. As we can see from the points discussed above, Java has a number of advantages over C when it comes to performance, except when you need to have a performant code or a performant project from the looks of it. With better memory management security, this is just regurgitating this. Okay, cool. TGX, thanks, I hate it. Now, can we write a better post than that? Let's see. Write a blog post about how Java is more performant than C code, mentioning memory management, portability, and ease of use. There you go. Is our blog post better than that? When comparing programming languages, the old age debate of Java versus C often comes down to performance. While C is known for its raw speed, even the Gen AI won't write this. So yeah, I've changed my mind. This post is not written by a Gen AI. It's just written by a person who doesn't know what they're talking about. Yeah, hated it. Now, what can we do? Let me have a little Coca-Cola. And I think it's just time for us to get to advent of coding, right? Oh, sorry, the advent of code. And I might have a little... Wow, I wrote it. Did she? No, you didn't. It was Nisha Kumari. Sorry, I'm going to have to cut that bit out because I don't want this person to get any hate. Please don't give this person any hate, but I don't think she has much experience with C. I saw that the only part of this I don't agree with is performance. I can generally nod my head, safeties of the but not perform. Yeah, me too. I think generally the ease of development stuff makes sense. The memory management stuff makes sense, but yeah, performance is C definitely gains on that for sure. Which is all nice and well. Right, I don't know code. Let's move to advent of code and trying to finish this. Okay. Note number 1. I already like this because there isn't that much backstory to it, so I'm loving it already. Oh gosh. Whew. The historians take you to a familiar rope bridge over a river in the middle of the jungle. The chief isn't on this side of the bridge, though. Maybe he's on the other side. When you go to cross the bridge, you notice a group of engineers trying. There's always a group of engineers, right? Trying to repair it. Apparently, it breaks pretty frequently. You won't be able to cross until it's fixed. You ask how long it will take. The engineers tell you that it only needs final calibrations, but some young elephants were playing nearby and stole all the operators. Who makes these stories, dude? Who makes these stories? This is like, what the hell? From their calibration equations. They could finish the calibrations if only someone could determine which test values could possibly be produced by replacing any combination of operators into the calibration equation. For example, okay, so we have the test example here. So each line represents a single equation. The test value appears before the column of each line. It is your job to determine whether the remaining numbers can be combined with operators to produce the test value. So we can do 10 times 9, is that correct? Can we do like that times that plus that or something, I guess? I guess that's what we've got to find out, right? Operators are always evaluated left to right, not according to precedence rules. Wait, operators are always evaluated left to right, not according to precedence rules. Okay, that makes it easier because we don't have to implement something like reverse Polish notation. Furthermore, numbers in the equation cannot be rearranged. Okay. You can see elephants holding two different types of operators, plus and multiply. So I guess we only do add and multiply. Only 3 of the above equations can be made true by inserting operators. This is 10 times 19, of course. This has 2 positions for operators, 1 of the 4 possible configurations of the operators. 2 causes the right side to match the test value. Both equal that. Okay, this can be solved in exactly one way. Okay, the engineers just need the total calibration result, which is the sum of the test values from just the equations that could possibly be true. In the above example, the sum of the test values for the 3 equations listed above is that. So are they counting the ones that can be solved in more than one way twice? So where's calculator? So we have, in this case, we have we have 3267 plus 190 plus 292. Yeah, so they're not counting the ones that you can do twice, which is good. Also, cost and availability. You can much more easily find 100 Java devs can make a general business app than. Yeah, not too sure. There's yeah, it's the law of the demand and supply, really. So I guess you do have a high supply for Java developers than C, but then there's less demand for C, so you end up having kind of the same amount of people applying for the same job in C and Java. That's my take on it, to be honest. Right, boys, let's go. Yeah, so first things first, we're going to have to parse the data. Let's see what the input looks like, shall we? Okay. So we're going to brute force it again. For sure. So we can probably do a Cartesian product on the operators. Okay, I'm trying to think now how we can do that. Now, that my enjoyment complete, I have to go. I'm not feeling better, so I need to lie down. See you, GTX. Thank you for joining us, dude, very much. Don't forget to like the video, though, before you drop. But thank you again for the article. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, let's go, right? So we can do a cargo new day 7 here. We are going to code this for sure. Okay, and we've got day 6 somewhere. Oh, day 7, in fact. Let's put the input in here. So new file, test.rs. This can be an easy one, right? If we do it right, it can be a very easy one. Okay, so we got the test main. I think I need to add anyhow. CD day 7. Cargo add anyhow. I'm just applying the same kind of like theme that I use where we have like a function that returns a result just so we can use the question mark operator quite efficiently, and a place in the end in main where we actually handle the errors. So that might be a little bit better. And if we have error here, we say program crashed. And then we have E there. Okay, right. So the first thing we're going to do is like we definitely need to parse the input into some sort of like structure. So we have, I guess, the test, right? A test structure, which will be something like, the total, which is an I32 or something. And we also have the possible items, which is going to be a vector of I32s, which is the operands, I guess. We have the desired total, and then in here we have all operands in a line, right? What we want to return is actually from the input. So parse input function, parse input. We are gonna, oh my god, I just got a massive pain on my arm. Dude, this is why I'm getting too old. I'm getting too old. I just randomly have pains in like my chest, in my neck, and in my shoulders. It's not easy being old. It's not easy being old at all, unfortunately. Now, here we need a vector of vectors. So a vector of test, right? That's what we need. That's kind of what we're going to do, right? So clearly, we need to get the input lines here. I'm going to create another function, so parse line, so parse test line function, parse test line, which is going to take the text, the line, I guess. It's going to be a string, and then that's going to return me an anyhow result of a test. Now, what can we do here? So we have to parse this in a way that we split on this first. Yeah, okay. We split on that, get the result, and then with the remaining stuff, we just split on spaces. Yeah, we can do that. Easy, easy. That's what wait, what am I doing? So it's just here. Okay, cancel, save that. Just close everything else so it doesn't get in my way. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to split on the colons to get a total. And then with the remaining, we're going to split on spaces. We're going to strip and split on spaces to get each possible operand, right? Yes, let's do that. So let result equals test line split on this for sure. And now what we're going to do is get. Do we have get? What do we have here? We want to get the first one for sure, right? This position, I think, searches for an element in an iterator, returning the index. Oh gosh, come on. What are we doing here? So we want to get the first one out of this, right? So maybe it's worth creating a vector that has that, right? So vect after we split on this. Is there no way to get like the first result from the split in Rust? And in this case, I'm going to use my good old ChatGPT to do that for us. So how to get the first result, the first element of a split result in Rust. That's what we want to do. Oh, just .next apparently. Next will do, I guess. Option of string. Okay, yeah. So there's an option of string, and we can either unwrap or add a context, I guess, which says could not find the results in string, right? Okay, that works well. Okay, so now what do we do? I do feel like we should have saved the split here, to be honest. Huh. Yeah, so let's split. That's going to be my test line. Dot split on colon like we had before. Dot next. Oh, just that. And then we can consume the thing here. So split. Dot next. Okay. Now it's just so we don't have to split it twice. Otherwise, it might affect performance here if we're doing two splits on the same string. Starting from the original string twice, that is. So collect it. Yeah, I can collect it, or I can just reuse the remaining of the iterator, because I guess next is just going to go up to the next element, right? Remember your book? I do remember, but I also think that this should work. So I'm definitely going to debug it out for sure. But I think, next is going to advance the iterator once, and it's going to stay there, right? So if you do next here, split on next is now going to be the second element, which is good, which is kind of what I want, because I can do something like elements now. So I guess the operands. That's going to be split dot next, right? And then dot context to add the error. So could not find operands in this in string. So now that's a string, and this I can now do a split again, and I'm going to split it on space. Oh, strip and split, is that a thing? Strip prefix. Can I just do a normal split? Well, anyway, split on spaces, right? Let's hope that works. I'm wondering if split on spaces was going to get rid of the space at the start, because I'm not too sure. And then split that. And then we have a map where we have a character here. Not a character, we have an actual string. Okay. So we have the number, numstring dot parse to I32. Now, I'm going to collect this into a vector. So what is that? Vector of result, right? But I don't want that. I want this. Can I use that? Is this going to work? No, yeah. Using the question mark inside a map is not available. It's not valid. But what can we do instead here? What is the like rustic way to actually, if you've got a map where each element is a result, how do you transform that into a map of the inner elements, but also you want to throw that if any of these inner elements are errors, right? So how to transform a map of result elements into a map There you go. That's kind of what I want to do. Well, we have result collect. Anyway, to transform a map of result A into elemental map A elements while returning an error if any of the inner elements are error, you can use the iterator methods provided by Rust specifically. You can use result collect combined with hash map. Let's see this. What? I don't understand this. Let's see. This is very, very convoluted. I did not mention hash map at all. I just decided to do that. Nah, I don't like this. This is not going to do for us. So let's just unwrap it and hope it doesn't crash. Now we have what we want, right? So now we can do, I guess, test, where we have operands and result and operands. The total, right? The total is the one we want here. So total. We don't need that, and we can wrap it in OK. And that is it, right? Oh, so this is also not right. That's because we need to parse into an I32. Remember your bug. Use filter. It's a map. Filter map. Yeah, I could use filter map, but I wanted to fail if any of them are not okay. You see? With filter map, it's just gonna get rid of the ones that are errors. But I want the whole thing to fail. What is the issue here though? Kind of borrow is mutable. Yeah, maybe you are right, Al. Maybe I should just. What is mutating here? What is actually mutating here? What the hell? Can't mutate variable split, but what is actually mutating? Is it the parse that's mutating? It is the parse that's mutating. Interesting. Huh. To use next, it has to be mute. Oh, does it? I did not know that. Does it? Because look, now it's kind of working. If I were to do this. Ah, yes, you are right. Okay, I see. Yeah, I didn't know that. So to use next, she has to be mutable. Oh yes, it has to be mutable because split itself is an iterator that we are then doing next on. Yeah, I always thought it was next. Yeah, no, it's correct. I think you are correct. It makes sense though because split is holding an iterator object, right? And then we're doing dot next on it, which is going to change where it points to. Therefore, it has to be mutable. So yeah, that's good. So now we can do lines, and then we can map all of them to. Is it parse? Right, right. This is what we do. This is where we have to be careful here. I guess parse test line L, which the iterator is a result. Okay. Okay. So in theory, we have all the results of lines here. Now we need to have, well, essentially we need to unwrap them here, but I don't want to put the unwrap there. I kind of want to make it so it gets collected into a vector for sure. Vector of result test error, that's good. And now I can say if lines.iter.all of test is okay. In fact, if not all of them are okay, we're going to bail. Okay, that sounds good. And now we can, for sure, I guess, do an into iter here. So we kind of return. Wait, let's get rid of. Let's keep that for now. I just want to see the types in here. So lines. Dot into iter. Dot map. We've made sure that they're all okay. So we have each test here. We can unwrap them. Yep, and that should do, really. So that is just a matter of putting this on OK and that there. And we have the whole thing parsed to us, right? So now if we parse the input here, parse input, and we've got an include string where we have test dot, it's not rs, this should have been input. Ooh. So test dot input there. And we can do a print line, I guess, just so it's used. Where's the issue here? So this is test does not implement debug. We can fix that. So we can derive debug, and I guess can we clone it as well? No, let's not derive clone for now. But we can do clone and copy for sure. But we can do clone. Yeah, let's just do clone. So we can do a dot clone on it later if we need to. So syntax missing parameters for functions. Yeah, you are correct. So yeah, let's run this and see what happens. So I want to make sure that we are parsing the things correctly now. God bless Rust, it didn't work. Does it say what the error is? Result unwrap on an error value. In here. Interesting. This is a redundant clone as well. So some of these values, I do wonder if it's parsing, if it's getting rid of the the space at the start. That could be the problem here. But there's no way to know unless I do a collection. So if I do something like that, put it up here, and instead of that, I do a collect. Wait, total test. Wait, what? Was it failing in there? On the first error? On the first element? I always thought it was in the operands. Yeah, it could be the operands, but I thought it was... Parse integer error. In the operands, filter out the first one. In the operands, filter out the first one. Like that. If you have a split on the first character, is the split character you get an element at the beginning of that's empty. Oh, I see. Yeah. So I was trying to essentially do. Ah, I see. Yeah. So this split, the next one will have the empty character when we then split on it. So here, so I would like to split them out. Wait, let me think. So we do the context here. That's an optional string. And then we do strip, right? Strip prefix. Is that going to work? Optional string. Wait, why is strip prefix not working? After the split. Oh, you mean this one? No, I don't quite get it. Let me think about that, Al. So if you have a split and the first character is the split character, you get an element at the beginning that is empty. Yeah, so if I remove that split character from here now, that's the logic. So if I remove the split, yeah, that's true, yeah, so filter. I guess I can do a filter as well, but my point was like I can also do this, right? So strip prefix and put that in it. So the prefix string or that. Yeah, I don't understand why we have to, why it's an option. Why couldn't you not just do this, the prefix and that's it? Yeah, this works as well. Yeah, so that was my guess, is the first character is giving us something wrong. Because the prefix might not be present. It might not be present, yeah. It seems to always be present, yeah. Yeah, but that's the point. Like, if it's not present, then is that a problem? Isn't that just like a strip spaces or something, right? Let's see. Strip all spaces from the ends of a string with rest, right? Because usually you have like a trim. Oh, trim is what I'm looking for, by the way. That is the one. So trim method. Ah. And that is better, because I guess that doesn't return me an optional. So I can do trim. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Something that just returns the string. Okay, so now we might not have that problem. I think we might be sorted. Okay, that seemed to work. And we got the operands that we want. Yeah, that's all well and good. So now we kind of have to figure out what we do with these with these values, fields total I never used, the red, yeah, we know that. So given a test, right, I wanna check whether or not it's a valid or there is a solution for it, right? So find formula given a test, which is my test here, that'll just be a test. And that is going to be a result of, I guess it's going to be a vector of, a vector of operators, right? And we're going to have to do an enum here, so operators. And we're going to have a plus or a multiply, right? That's what we're going to have. Now, what's the algorithm here? So we've got to figure out how many gaps we have. And then we basically run a Cartesian product on all of, on all of the operators that we can possibly have, and then try out every single one of those. That's the brute force way of doing it. I guess I'm going to go with that, to be honest. So what's the number of gaps, right? So take, for example, this test here. So we've got two numbers, there's one gap. Three numbers, there's two gaps. So it's always the number of elements that we have minus one, and that's here. So we have 1, 2, 3 gaps here. So let num gaps is equals to test dot operator operands dot length, right? Minus 1. And we should probably check that we have, I guess test operands dot len is more than 0 for sure. Because if not, we can bail it out and say invalid number of operands. Right. This is getting good. And that's the number of things. And what I would like to do is to basically let operator it's always from left to right, yeah. So I need to get somehow I need a function that will, I guess, that get all gaps, right? Something like that. Get operator cross. That will return me an array of something like, plus or plus multiplied, plus, and then it's going to do something like plus, multiply. You get the gist. So plus, multiply. In fact, that. And then plus, multiply. And we should have 6 of them overall. So what am I missing? We changed last ones, we changed that one. Last one, now we change multiply plus. And we also have multiply plus that. And then we have multiply, right? So say we had get operator cross of length 3. That is going to basically return. Oh gosh, what did I do? There you go. Hello again. Yeah, that's going to return me like all the possible operators for sure. So, and this is basically just a cross product, right? So cross product with the size n. That's what we have. So if we can create this, going from this, like we can get this, we can have like another function called apply or try formula that takes the operands, right? Say something like, and that will return me some result, right? So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So that's what we're essentially going to do. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. I think that's probably a good algorithm. It is very brute forcey though. I'm not sure if I enjoy it too much, but it's what we're gonna go. Oh, sorry, I've missed the chat entirely. By the way, you don't have to do all the checks. AOC ensures that the input is always valid. Yeah, fair enough. I just like doing the checks anyway. I'm sure you bite your ass once you figure out the magic. Once I figure out the magic. Okay, this is gonna be interesting because I don't know what the magic is. But wait, is there an easier way to do this, Al? Because you're making me think that there is. You're making me think that there's an even easier way to do this. Anyhow. What do you mean by that? You got to my head now, Mal. I don't know. Well, let's follow through with this, right? There's an even easier way to do this. Can I? No. Sorry, Al. No idea. How to generate? I know there's there's iter tools in Rust that has the Cartesian product or the cross product. How to generate the cross product? Bitmasking. Ooh, let me see. 2 options. Yeah, there's only 2 options for sure. How would bitmask How would bitmask solve this? Right, let's go back to that in a second. Because I don't really understand how bitmask would solve this. Bitmask, there's only 2 options. Interesting. No, I can't think of the solution with bitmasks, to be honest. I'm being dumb, maybe. How to generate a cross product, a Cartesian product, that's the one. There is iter tools Cartesian product. Yeah, I'm just gonna be lazy and then do yeah. No, I can't be lazy because if I do a for loop, I have to actually do the number of for loops I need. These are all very, very interesting ways of doing it, though. So I need a function that takes like an indefinite number, and that number is going to be the number of dimensions that we have in the Cartesian product. You can use binary numbers to encode your possibilities. You can use binary numbers to encode my possibilities. Yeah, I'm trying to think about it, but how? Yeah, this is very hard, Al. Maybe I'm on a bad day here and I can't think, but I don't see how the binary numbers would help you with, say you had a line in the actual input that had like 30 different operands, right? Which you don't. They are all up to, I don't know, who knows how many, like that many. How do you have that uploads, that uploads? So what's actually the biggest number that we have here? So the biggest number of operands that we have: 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Do we have any way that's anywhere that says like however many different ones we have? No, yeah, I'm not getting it. I know what you mean though, kind of. So you can just iterate through all the possible values in an integer, right? and then take the bits out of that, and then say 0 is plus and 1 is multiply. And you can just go left to right, like, okay, on the first operation, first and second numbers, you look at the first bit, and if that is set, you multiply, otherwise you do a plus. And you do the same for the third and fourth and whatnot. But that the assumption there is that you always have you have a fixed number, or up to a fixed number of, up to a certain number of operands, right? Which could work, I guess, right? Huh. Yeah, I want to look at your solution, dude, after. For sure. I want to see what you mean, exactly. But for this one, this is the tricky bit now. So get Cartesian. So get now this is where we have the number or dimensions of dims, which is an I32, or simply use size, right? That's going to return me a vector of operators. Now, I am going to use the iter tools because I can't be asked doing it by myself. So iter tools. So for each dimension, now let me see. Yeah, so the beginning one, right? So let's see that. Let begin. Now, what is this going to be? This is going to be a vector. Oh, wait a second. Let me think. So we need to somehow expand the dimension every time we go through a new dimension. Okay. So this is going to be a vector of operator plus and operator multiply, right? Something like that. And then we do for I in dims. Now for I in dims, assert that I guess dims is more than 1. Yeah, for I in dims, starting with 1, what we do is like begin operators. Now this is what we do, something like iter. And I guess we map each one of these. Oh no, we don't. We don't. What do we have here? So begin operators is already. Wait, what's the size of a Cartesian product with n dimensions? So it's factorial, right? So 1 is 1. Then with 2 you have 4 possible items. 3 we have 6. Yeah. Is that correct? Cartesian product size. It's factorial, right? So it's n factorial. So 1 times 2 times 3. That would be 6. Yeah, I think it's factorial, so I might be correct on this one. Right, which means... Ooh. which means that this begin operator must have a size of whatever dim's factorial is straight out of the box. So we can map them each in every iteration, add a new dimension of it. No, maybe this is not going to work. Dude, I'm actually kind of stuck on this, I think. Yeah, my idea of generating this is kind of difficult. Because one, you kind of have to go along each dimension and then add a new one for every iteration on the dimensions, which I can't think of right now. Yeah, maybe I have to think of a different way of doing this. But this is the problem. If I can generate something like this, it's sorted, right? It's just about applying the formula. But damn it. Damn it. Yeah, maybe bit masks are the way, Al. Maybe you are correct. But dude, yeah. What if you have another option? Is that what part 2 is? Is part 2 having like a divide now? Because then your bit mask solution kind of doesn't work on that. But I'm willing to give that a try. Because yeah, obviously this can be represented with a binary number of size 3, right? So you can have that, or 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 that. So I kind of get the idea. My worry is that part 2 is going to be now you can do divisions, and then this kind of breaks. You see what I mean? But this is difficult. Well, it's not difficult. I'm just tired as hell. But I'll tell you what. I'm probably going to call the stream here, Al, unfortunately. I'll get to do this in the morning tomorrow for sure. I'll come back to it with a fresh mind. With that in mind, thank you all very much for joining. I think it's getting a bit late for me, and I want to get some good sleep. So I will talk to all of you soon. And thank you all very much for joining. It has been a pleasure. We managed to get quite a bit done in today's stream, actually. Yeah, thank you all. Have a nice evening too. And with that said, I'll see you guys next time. And take it easy. And bye-bye. See ya.